In football, you are always talking about the future. Which team is going to sign this player? Who is going to be the next Ballon d'Or? Which club will win the UEFA Champions League? Or which national team is going to win the FIFA World Cup? That is normal, talking about the future, and this leads to a lot of talk about young players and their potential to be the new Lionel Messi or the new Cristiano Ronaldo. That is, who will be the player who will dominate this sport for the next 10 or 15 years? This type of issue leads us to a debate where two of the young star players of world football are compared: Marcus Rashford and Kylian Mbappe. Let's get started with a 22-year-old Englishman born in Wythenshawe, a town located in the south of Manchester. Marcus has been a Manchester United fan since he was a child, and that is why neither he nor his family hesitated to accept the opportunity the Red Devils gave him to be a part of their youth system when Rashford was just 7 years old. The Wonder Kid, as he was known in England since his debut, seemed destined for success since, despite being well considered within Manchester United itself and having participated in some concentrations and matches of youth England national football teams, he never was the first option that came to the minds of the experts in scouting of English football. That is why his story of how he started in the world of professional football is so striking, but in part, that is what makes this sport the beautiful game. After a series of injuries from almost all Manchester United first-team strikers, on February 25th, 2016, Dutch manager Louis van Gaal, an expert in betting heavily on young football players, one of the many planets that lined up to help Rashford back in that day, decided to take the young striker to the bench for the second leg round of 32 UEFA Europa League match against Denmark's Midtjylland, with pressure to win after losing on Scandinavian territory 2-1 in the first leg. Minutes before the start of the game, Rashford appears in the starting 11 after it was confirmed that Anthony Martial had suffered an injury that would prevent him playing. The second planet that lined up. Marcus played the entire game and scored 2 of the 5 goals that served Manchester United to overcome that round of the tournament. However, the most surprising thing about his beginnings was what would happen 3 days later when United faced Arsenal, a classic rival for the Red Devils, which was a game where Rashford would score 2 goals again and an assist in a third goal to give him the victory 3-2 to his club. From that day on, Rashford would never leave Manchester United's first team again. His good path with his club led him to debut with the England national team in May of that same year against Australia, in a friendly match where he would score a goal. On September 6th, he would play a very important match with under-21 England national team against Norway, where he would score 3 goals. 6 days later, he would play his first UEFA Champions League game, where he would start on the bench and still score a goal. On September 21st, in the League Cup with Manchester United, where he would also score a goal despite having started on the bench against Northampton Town. In other words, I lost count of how many planets have lined up in Rashford's professional career, and he has seized every single opportunity he was handed. Since that great 2016, he has already scored 64 goals in 201 games with the Old Trafford club, 10 goals in 38 games with the England national team, has participated in UEFA Euro 2016 and has been one of the architects of England's historic third place in the last edition of the FIFA World Cup. Although strikers are measured by goals, Rashford brings a lot of vertigo, speed and danger trying to adopt the style of his idol, Ronaldo, the Brazilian. On the other hand, 21-year-old Kylian Mbappe, a Parisian by birth, has been one of the great eruptions of world football in recent years, and a certain parallelism can be drawn with Rashford. If we check the Frenchman's career, finding key moments where he gave a go to the front that have led him to where he is today, among many other things, world champion. From a young age, Mbappe showed enormous speed and skill that always kept him playing with older players than him when he was at the modest AS Bondy club, where he took his first steps in football. At 11 years old, many clubs both in France and the rest of Europe, such as Real Madrid, where his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, played, and Chelsea, became interested in him, inviting him to do the typical tests, which the young Kylian would overcome. However, when he received offers from both clubs to stay, his father considered that he was still too young to leave his native country, which led them to accept the offer from AS Monaco. On December 2nd, 2015, he would become the youngest player to debut with a Monogos club in League One. beating Thierry Henry at 16 years, 347 days. At that time, AS Monaco was in a restructuring stage because the Russian investment it had a few years ago had decided that it was better to bet on an idea less focused on overspending and more on local talent. In the 2016-17 season, Colombian forward Radamel Falcao returns to AS Monaco after his 2 years on loan in the English Premier League with Manchester United and Chelsea, which led to the formation of one of the best attacking pairs in Europe in that season by joining Mbappe. The mix of seniority and youth worked wonders as they scored 56 goals between them that helped the Monegasque club lift the League One title and reach the UEFA Champions League semi-finals by scoring in all direct elimination rounds. That year he would win the Golden Boy Award that recognises the best player under 21 in the world. Before the closing of the 2017 summer transfer market, Paris Saint-Germain announced the signing of Mbappe for a record figure for clubs in the same federation, around 180 million euros, using the loan mechanism with a mandatory purchase option. This would mean the return of Kylian to Paris to join players of the stature of Neymar, Cavani and Di Maria, or Verratti, to win all the local titles in France. However, the most consecrating moment so far of Mbappe's career would come in the 2018 FIFA World Cup, in the match against Argentina for the round of 16, where he would score 2 goals and cause a penalty, not to mention the display of speed and talent he had during that game, seen by millions of people around the world. In addition to becoming the second teenager to score 2 goals in a World Cup match behind Pelé, from that day on, Mbappe earned the status of world star that he continues to hold until today. So going back to the main topic of the video, we can talk about a certain parallelism between the careers of both players who have them as figures in their club and in their national teams at their young ages. In addition to the spectacle that it means to see on the pitch any of these players though, the walk of Mbappe that can lead him to play at Real Madrid, at least that's what the rumours say, can help him reach a new level that Rashford will hardly achieve at Manchester United. However, if Mbappe stays at Paris Saint-Germain for much longer, it could become too comfortable for him and stunt his development as a world star, which could lead to Rashford standing out more in the future. These are decisions that will mark the future of both stars. Thank you for watching. Please share our videos in order to make this beautiful community bigger and for the love of our game.